Okay, so apologies for this really, there we go, late start. I took some time to do my makeup, and this is what my makeup is going to be for today. A little bit of icy eyeshadows, a lot of blush, some 90s little lipstick, you know. And I'm terribly late, so I apologize in advance for doing that. And also for not having music in the very beginning, so sorry. I know that's not very typical with what I want to do for today's stream. But I really had this issue of what I'm gonna wear for today's stream. I wanted to, okay, like real talk, for anyone who's watching this as a VOD, and who is here lurking in the shadows. I love fashion. I love fashion trends. I love beauty trends because of how each artist adapts to the seasons and gets so inspired and wanted to create something fun and cool and exciting. And sometimes the exciting new thing is going back to what it was in the past. And I'm seeing a lot of trends harkening back to my high school days in the early Y2Ks and the late 90s. Stuff I really took for granted. I didn't really like get into those type of makeup looks way back when. Back then, you have like this brick red lipstick from, well, I was using CoverGirl because the makeup line back then was like peak. They were doing the right formulas to make things happen. But I didn't really wear makeup every day. It was kind of like performance only kind of thing. So when I was going through my high school days, I was like bare face except for anything like event wise. So I never had experienced these kind of makeup trends in any sort of way. And I was also at a crossroads with my identity in a way where I was wanting to be a little bit more femme and trying to do it in a way that's like me, you know, in a way. So I feel like doing the 90s trend, that type of old type of femme that's a little bit edgy, a chip on the shoulder, you know, we're here, we're loud, you know, type of thing. I feel that a little bit empowering. So even though it's not really like matching with the outfit I have down below, actually, it kind of does with the purple. Now I think about it, the yellow doesn't really work, but it kind of works. It's picking up the darker colors of the palette. But I just didn't think, you know, a cool eyeshadow is going to work with this color palette until I put everything else on, and I thought, okay, this is a completed look. So, sorry it took me like 30 minutes to like get on stream, but I was stalled because I didn't know what kind of makeup I was going to go for. I'm doing a lot of revamping my wardrobe to begin with and trying to embrace my K-Bay essence, that sort of thing. So it's a lot of new ways of exploring myself, but on a clothing, makeup kind of level. And it feels great, you know, exploring this part of myself. And it's the part of myself that I didn't know I was gravitating towards like 10 years ago, I was reaching for these corseted tops, these peplums, um, the boat necks, the stripy tops. I didn't know I was gravitating towards that kind of aesthetic because I was a classic keep or like a romantic essence. So it took a long time for me to finally come out of the fashion closet and realize what was really working for me and what instead of trying to force myself in a box that never really worked with me to begin with, I'm working with a box that is catered to like my own unique beauty and embracing myself a little bit more. And it's a little bit feminine, and it's something that I have like an ongoing dialogue with my whole life. This femininity, what it means with me, to me, how do I fit into that, category, or how does that implement my life? It's something that's always been, a internal dialogue with myself. So I'm exploring things. I'm, observing things about myself and just trying to feel closer to what I feel like it's cute or it's sexy or it's fun or like empowering. And I don't know, I'm just feeling myself with this kind of makeup and this kind of dress. So sorry, it took me forever to like get things going, but I just had to. I had to like stop and go, what do I want for my look for today? Because this is the only time I ever wear makeup, ever. Just putting myself together for stream. It's the only time I ever do it. Most of the time, I walk around the house without any makeup on. When I go out to grocery stores or like anything else, I sometimes don't do like this kind of level of makeup. Maybe just a little bit of like a blush or like a blurred lip gloss kind of, number, stuff like that. But not to the extent of, like this for the camera. That's kind of where I get to play makeup a little bit. So how I wanted to present myself to all of you, here on Twitch and also eventually on YouTube, I really do take it seriously because I am still exploring myself and learning about like what is working with me, what makes me feel, ooh, that's new. At least it's new to me right now. Even though it's a very old, harkening to like the 90s, like the late 90s, early 2000s, with the icy eyeshadows and really dark lips. I never had that chance, or at least I never felt the need to like took on makeup when I was a kid, and now I felt like I have a chance to like dive into it when I never had done it before. Also, our makeup combinations and formulas had changed radically since then, since like over 20 years ago. The amazing shimmers, the way the eyeshadows blend so much better than what it was way back when. And I was doing makeup without foundation, without primers, because that's what the makeup industry does, look for. They do expect you not to have like a foundation or a primer. It doesn't really last, and it's not really that pigmented compared to what it is now. Right now, it's long-lasting color wear. color that's able to blend, color that is able to work in layers. It's totally different makeup for makeup. So just having like this kind of old aesthetic redone with the new formulas, it just makes things so much easier. Just easier to work with. Let me also like take care of my nose real quick before we get started. Like, see, now you get to see the full fit here. So it does work. It does work in its own way. I realize what's going on with my nose. I tend to water up when I put on my eyeliner. I do some tight lining around my eyes, which is hit and miss depending what kind of eyes you have. And the kind of eyes I have, it's usually more beneficial for me to tight line the upper eyelashes. I could do whatever I want on the bottoms. And for some reason, I always get a little bit teared up when I deal with anything around my eyes. And I think it's because I have been staring at a screen for hours every day because I've been writing. And that's a me thing. I don't think I'm allergic to my makeup. I don't think, my makeup is bad for me. I don't think tight lining is causing issues. More than anything, I think it's just me staring at a screen for hours on end, and I'm just getting a little bit watery when I have something around my eyes because my eyes are already tired. And I think that's what's going on with me. So that's why I always grab this. Like almost every single time I come up here for like stream or for whatever it is, just tight lining on really tired, strained eyes is just not exactly the best way to go. But it's something that I wanted to do for like my own makeup and that aesthetic. There was a lot of tight lining back, oh geez. Now I think about it, it was going on since the late 80s and just continued since then. Oh, we have an update. Okay, so while we wait for things to update, let me go ahead and moisturize my hands real quick. Oh geez, I put a lot of lotion here. I'm gonna have to put some of this here. I put way too much lotion on my hands. I'm happy to report that I'm almost done with my third book. It's almost done. It's not ready for submission. I do have to put the bells and whistles on there for submission. But I have to do some final checks. I wanted to check for environmental stuff, and when I'm done checking it over, making sure it's the the vibes of the book or the way I want it to be, I'm going to do what Jen will ask. Jen is the editor of Four Horsemen. Oh, no. We're ready to go. I swear. So, yeah, that is kind of the deal. I'm almost ready to submit the third book. And this is not wanting to sound off. Hold on. Oh, no, there it goes. There it goes. You hear the audio. There we go. So, that's why. That's why I'm late. That's why I have this glamorous makeup on. Whole 9 yards. Let's see. Oh, we're doing the grind session, aren't we? I think we need to do some sleepy sleep. There we go. So for the grind session, I don't think it's going to take that long. I'm trying to get everyone up to 40, and then I'm going to throw in Iron Chef. We did a tent. We rested. What the heck? Is it? No. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Anywho, we're pretty close to level 40 for Tomato, Xena, and Echo. And when one of them really hits 40, I'll switch out to Iron Chef. Iron Chef is also pretty low. And when I have Iron Chef up to level 40 or close to it, we'll be able to go. Everyone else is like level 45 and down, that kind of thing. So I'm just trying to get everyone up to speed. Now, I'm not doing the dragon. I'm not doing the dragon. Because I haven't prepared myself well enough to handle it. I think that's more of a me thing. I just don't minimax like everyone else. I don't really pay attention about stats or abilities. That's kind of like too time managing for me. And because of that, I just don't feel like worrying about how to minimax anything. So we're just going to vibe, look for monsters in Ipsen Castle. We're just going to deal with this environment for quite some time. So a little bit of a running around kind of thing. Just enjoying going to and from places. It's a very small map, so it can be a little bit boring. But it will give me a chance to like chit chat with all of you. Ooh, ads will start in a couple of minutes, just a heads up everyone. Speaking of like fashion, which I know that is not here and there when it comes to like gaming whatsoever, but I was trying to figure out where to go for clothes, and I was just trying to figure out, you know, which fashion brand I should like look into, because I haven't bought clothes in ages. It's just been a very frugal time for me these past couple of years, and I'm just trying my best not to go overboard with any sort of shopping that I was wanting to do. I'm also at a point in my life where the majority of the clothes that I have, I could just rotate in and out of storage, and I would have a very good time playing with my clothes. I think we need to, let's start healing. For the longest time, I thought, oh, maybe I should look at free people. Maybe I should look at, I wish her magic bounces off and goes to like the nearest person. At least it would not be wasted. That makes me so sad. So I was looking at anthropology, free people, airy, just trying to like figure out myself. And even though there was a lot of kind of aesthetics that was going on, I just didn't feel connected to it. It just didn't work for me. Oh no. No. Okay. Ooh. I wonder why the 10 didn't work. Why they weren't healed all the way. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, I just realized that I'm not really into the boho aesthetics as I thought I was, especially the really frilly, girly stuff. I was looking at Urban Outfitters, and I found some of the shorts not really fitting my aesthetic. I realized that I prefer something a little bit more, I don't want to say classic, because everyone has a different frame of reference of what classic means. But like, something that's mature, I think that's the best way I could like describe it, where it's not so, how should I say it? It feels like I'm embracing my current age, where I am right now. If I don't gravitate to those type of clothes. I feel like if I kept going to, like, say, Aerie, Urban Outfitters, Macy's, I'm chasing like my old self. My old body, when I was younger, was more of a rectangle. I didn't really have a fit or anything. I kind of have a waist, but not really. I wasn't as fleshy as I am now. I did gain quite a bit of weight, but like afterwards, you know, I'm kind of at this type of body size that I kind of like. I'm just getting used to it. And I kind of like how I'm looking right now. So it took a while for me to get used to it, but when I did, it was really pleasant. So, anywho, just looking at those type of clothes, I just realized, wow, it's not really working for me. So I compiled a list of other fashion brands and just tried to figure out what is classic Kiwi. I'm probably saying it wrong too. What is classic Kiwi? Because that's what my body is right now. I learned recently that I'm more of a romantic essence, that sort of thing. And I put it into, you guys are going to hate me for it, but I put it into ChatGPT because it's really great at summarizing and gathering information online. And fashion brands are very open about what kind of audience they do cater for, but it's really hard to look for it. They don't always project it to their customers. You're supposed to like know already, and they're not going to like reject anyone who comes into their, you know, clothing stores, which is fine, you know. If you're going for a really youthful kind of look, you could shop at those places. But when I was younger, those were like the type of fashion clothing brands that I was gravitating towards because it worked with my body back then. And it's not working for what I have now, I should say. Okay, I got a heal tomato. Ooh, I really need to heal tomato. Sorry, tomato. So, I don't want to say like mature or immature because I feel like there's a lot of connotations with those words that are very demeaning when it comes to certain styles and aesthetics. Just because someone is going for a more youthful, ingenue, gamin kind of aesthetic doesn't mean that they're immature. I'm just trying to deviate away from those kind of terms. And same thing for like classic looks. You know, classic looks tend to be a little bit clean on the lines and doesn't have a lot of frills on it. Even though my romantic essence love all the ruffles and frills and everything else that goes with it, it's got to be done in moderation. At least that's what I'm learning with this whole thing. So I did put that together, and I also put down my bright winter palette because a lot of fashion brands do cater to a certain seasonal palette. They don't always cater to all color seasons. They do have tendencies, which I understand. I get it. I respect that. But it's not really helpful for me. I keep forgetting this exists. Oh, and I keep forgetting that this is also here too. keep forgetting about that. Wait, since it's all upside down, I wonder if I should try to reverse what they were saying. So what it popped out for me is that the bust clothing line, or at least fashion brand, that's close to my classic Kiwi, romantic essence, bright winter aesthetic was Banana Republic. That is not super expensive, but I was a little bit surprised. I always view Banana Republic as very safari orientated, and also very warm on their aesthetic. They do a lot of ivory and beige. But I realized that if I just went ahead and okay, so you need it. And you need it. Okay. So let's just do that. There we go. Since both of them are transient, that's so cool. So yeah, Banana Republic was not expecting this. I did not shop any clothes from there because that's way out of my price range at this time. That was a pleasant surprise, that's for sure. Okay, I'm gonna have to like get her softened up or something. I may have Tomato use the softener on her. So I'll just do Echo and then I'll do Tomato, and Tomato will use that soft. Ooh, yeah, that's a good call on my end. We kind of needed that. So next up the list was like Ann Taylor, if I remember right, which also had very strong color plays of white and fuchsia and other bright pinks. It was a really strong it really strongly played with the color palette that I have, and also adhering to the classic kind of style. But they both aren't really romantic. They have a little bit of romance to it, but not a whole heck of a lot. There we go. Yay! We may have to get out of here and do the tent and save, because that was a good session. Oh, and look at that! She probably leveled up. Yes. Okay, so she made it. We're gonna swap her out with Iron Chef then. So it's also fascinating that this door is closed. Okay, well, we'll come back here. Whoops. Oh, this is easy. We'll come back here. I'll just make sure that she was equipped with her normal stuff before she goes. Oh no. I forgot that he likes to focus on me. So eventually I learned that anthropology does work with my aesthetic. It's not all about the expensive brands. I also learned that Mango and other stores also work with that whole aesthetic that I was trying to go for. And I was really impressed with anthropology and other stores. They're just a tad bit out of my budget. And when I looked at Mango, lo and behold, there was a sale going on. In fact, I think it's still going on now for the rest of July. And I was able to snag some clothes. So I have a black skinny pants and a midi dress that's coming in pretty soon. And I'm super excited about it because I have something new to my wardrobe after all these years. I know it sounds silly, but I've just been so frugal with everything that's been going on and just trying my best not to, go overboard. And it's also going to help me for this coming winter. I was looking for stuff that's going to help me for fall and winter. I don't have a lot of bottoms. Since I have changed in my age and I had gained weight and learning about, taking care of myself in this new way. Okay, I just want to make sure. I learned that I have a bigger bottom than I was before. Which is fine, It's just something different than what I had experienced when I was younger. When I was younger, I was very much a rectangle. It was just even on both sides. And I kind of had waist definition, but not quite. It wasn't really there. So, yeah, just learning that I have a bigger bottom, and trying to deal and adapt with, those type of changes. Because I grew down there, I wasn't able to fit in my old bottoms like I used to. And things are just very tight, and I just didn't care for it. So having new clothes that will fit me better just is a very exciting thing for me. It's just, I know I sound like an adult, but it's something that just makes me so happy that I finally was able to reach to a point where I could find clothes that I know it's going to work for me. And it's going to get me back into the swing of things, of confident and accepting this new body and just having fun with it and all these changes that I'm going to experience, getting older. And, it's fun. It's a little bit nerve-wracking at times because I don't like things changing that often, but at the same time I get to play with new things I never had done before. So, pretty excited about it. Okay, there we go. I thought he was going to do the run-of-mill explain everything again. Okay, so as you can tell, we have level 44, 44, 45, and we have like Iron Chef really behind at 25. Oh, I realized that my camera was in the way. So we have 25, 44, 45. Which is why I really need to like get everyone out here and level. So she's there. She's fine. And I'm going to, let's see, switch Iron Chef's equipment, there we go, to their worst for this whole thing. And I gotta remember to switch everything back after I'm done with Iron Chef. That's something I need to remember. I have a hard time dealing with blue mages. For those who haven't seen my past videos or my past streams, I have a difficult time with Iron Chef. Not gonna beat around the bush about it. So it's gonna be a difficult one. Iron Chef is usually like a magic user that's able to attack very well. That's kind of how I build Iron Chef. Oh, let me check the other equipment on Iron Chef. No, I did everything right. I'm fine. I'm good. So from here on out, I'll continue with this group until Iron Chef is 40. And that's what it's gonna be. Yeah, I thought so. Oh, you know what? We could go further. There we are. Okay, new save slot with new crew, still level grinding. I am very pleased that this is the only time in this whole game that I have to level grind. I don't like grinding at all. Wait. That's not where I want to go. There's that puzzle thing I need to figure out. Which is this thing. With Iron Chef here, we're able to figure things out. So let me see if Iron Chef has any abilities. The old bottle cannot be taken away without its content. I'm really half tempted to look it up. Because I just don't get it. It said something about revealing your power by manipulating time. And I think that's a VV kind of thing. Okay, there we go. Really? That's all it took? It never did that. Ancient aroma? And that was it? That was all I was supposed to do? What? It didn't do that before. Did I just organize it in a proper way? Item that rates to mysterious light raises shadow element attack. Who does shadow? We also have another perfume. Called Pumice Piece, I think. Put it together with the other piece, absorbs Holy Shadow Elemental Attack. Which I don't know what the other piece is. And then there's the Maiden Prayers, which raises Holy Elemental Attack. Which, if I remember right, that uses Odin's sword. That increases strength and evade. This is meant for Felix. Pumice Piece. Also strength and evade. Increase magic evasion. But it was huge on someone else. Yeah, it works with Felix, that pummel piece, or pumice piece. Wait, I don't see that perfume. I don't see that perfume on here, so Felix is not going to take the perfume. I doubt he needs any of that. Power belt. Iron Chef is a non-binary, so they could go either way. Oh, same thing. So Echo can only do the perfume. Either the Maiden Prayer or the Ancient Aroma. I feel like that is Katana's. You know? I really do. Okay, so wow, we solved it. We solved it big time. Wow, that is huge. Never expected that before. Whoa. I'm so glad I took some time to try to figure that out. Never knew it was that kind of sequence. I was about to like walk away and forget about it. Wow. Goes to show to really like double check everything. But speaking of which, I probably should like check upstairs too. While we're trying to like find monsters. Okay, let's go ahead and feed Iron Chef. When we are fighting or like any sort of exploration that I have to go on, I would have Felix steal things and try to accumulate some items, but I feel like I accumulated so much gil that I'm just not really concerned about like any of that, you know? Oh, welcome back from the ads, everyone who was in it. Also, like, apologies for, like, yip-yapping about, like, fashion and all that stuff. It's stuff that I do like. I know that a lot of people don't like anything be considered, like, superficial and want something that's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing on a natural kind of level, and I get that. But I also like the artistry when it comes to like fashion and makeup and how it plays with, you know, expressing ourselves in a very theatrical kind of way. Most of the time I don't play with makeup except for like stream or going out and having my books being signed. So whenever I do have a chance to like doll myself up, you know, I really enjoy the experience. So if it's not your cup of tea, I could completely understand why this episode may not be you know, exciting for you to like deal with. Ooh, that's huge. Ooh. Alright, we do a little bit Kira on him. Until it's weaker. And most of my life when I was growing up, I didn't use makeup except for like orchestral events. I used to play violin and used to do concerts all the time, so whenever I do anything like that, it was performance only. So we never really had a chance to like explore, you know, makeup and fashion beyond that. It was all just performance, you know, and you had a very limited or strict kind of mindset of how to like present yourself. It's very upper level kind of aesthetic. Don't really have a chance to express yourself makeup wise. Well, I guess he can. Now I think about it. I guess he can. But like, not in a manner that, you know, you get like super duper glammed up, because you are playing an instrument and the focus is that, you know. And most musicians just don't bother that at all, which is totally okay. But I'm just one of those gals that I just like the artistic, creative expression of art. And I'm starting to understand why I feel so important in my day-to-day life right now. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Wait. I did try to eat. I already ate something like that before. I'm so silly. We just have to attack. Heal Felix. Also, I forgot that we have auto life from the other creature. Whoops. There we go. Go, Iron Chef, go. Alright, is everyone okay? No one's below 1,000. Well, we may have to heal up Felix because he's below 1,500. Give him a little boost. There we go. Nope. Can't go that way. Sad. It's a sad day. Oh, I also saw on BlueSky there was someone trying to put their fanfic out as a published work. And I don't know who they are specifically that's doing that. I think it's on Edelweiss. And I don't know the contents of their fanfic or, you know, what's going on there. Oh. Is there something that I could do to, like, help? Maybe it's remedy. No. That's weird. I don't think I have any fire spells. And I'm not sure. Well, at least I can take care of the poison. Okay, that helps. Damn it! An Iron Chef was still walking. Okay, see, that worked. It went to her instead. Sometimes this game doesn't do things proper, I swear. Oh, for the longest time in my exploration of my fashion aesthetic or whatnot, I thought I was like a dark winter with an angelic essence. Angelic essence is the type of essence where you do a lot of high shiny, glittery, disco ball kind of aesthetic, or like you get into very ethereal kind of clothing, that sort of thing. You know, you look out of this world, you look ethereal, and thus you have a lot of, you know, shimmery stuff, or like really lightweight, flowing kind of stuff with your looks. And I thought I was that for the longest time because I did like high shine kind of makeups and makeups that have a lot of bold expressions and you know, glitter everywhere. And I honestly thought I was like a dark winter. I didn't realize that this whole time I was more of a bright winter. And I was, you know, something else with my fashion aesthetic. Bright winters look better with really high impact, high saturated colors. But they like it in a slightly cool kind of fashion. You can dip your toes into the bright spring, because bright springs do deal with really high bright color, you know, strong effects, just like a bright winter, but they do it on the slightly warmer side. for a bright winter like me, of course I could deal with purples. I could do like really rich jewel tone colors like sapphires, emeralds, rubies. The reds I can handle so long they're just a little bit like cold, just a little bit. But I didn't know how well I look with pinks, because there are pinks that are a little bit frosted and cool tone too, and a lot of fuchsia. I was trying to figure out why my mother was dressing me with a lot of fuchsia colors, very strong pinks, and it just didn't really work with my own personal aesthetic even when I was a kid. And the reason why was because I look good in it with my everything that was about me. It just worked well. So that's why I was smothered in lots of pink. And eventually I was old enough to like let her know that I went to do something else. And thankfully she listened, you know. That's one thing I could credit to her. Like, if you do, like, tell her, hey, you know, it's not for me, and you're, like, very blunt about it, she's able to, like, understand and take note. So, thank goodness for that. So, anywho, it took a while for me to learn about all the essences, my color analysis, my everything, just exploring this and realizing that, oh, no wonder when I was a kid, this had always worked for me, or why I always look good when I do this kind of color and design. It just took forever for me to like finally lock it in and realize it. Let's go back and just do a tent. What made me realize I was more of a romantic essence was a blog format from Gabriella Abuelito? I know it's Gabriella. I know that for sure. Let's try some blue magic while we're here. Okay, well that wasn't great, I guess. Because everything's all backwards. That's probably her strong attack. Let's see what. That's my issue with Iron Shed. It's always hit and miss with the blue magic. It's just kind of hard to gauge what the monster is susceptible to or not. Ooh, we're gonna cook now. But the one thing I do love about Iron Shed is that they eat everything. So like, they ate, you know. Oh, they counterattack too! I forgot about that. Oh yeah, you're Iron Chef. Yeah, we need to get our butts going to the middle. So I took this diagram and figured out what essence that I have, and I realized that because I'm a little bit more curved or soft with my edges, because I'm technically a soft classic, I'm more of a romantic essence than I thought I was. And for the longest time, I didn't really want to get into that romantic essence because the feminine identity, I had like issues with it. But I realized where those issues are coming from, I should say. I learned so much about myself going through that. I thought, oh, that's why I always gravitate to lace. That's why I like lace. I like ruffles. I was able to look good in peplums, even though all the other, descriptors said, no, don't do it. So I do look good. I had been doing this for like the majority of my life. It's just, I was shopping at places where it was meant for a different age category. And I had to find a new place that suits for my current age group. And that's a journey. So, yeah, just learning the hard way of like, no, the reason why I like certain things is because of this aspect of myself. And it just lines up. It just fits. I get it now. But that doesn't mean that, I won't experiment. Because there are different ways of expressing what is considered romantic. There's different ways of styling lace, there's different ways of styling like ruffles. Like if you look at all the past decades, the 70s romantic aspects is completely different from like say the romantic aspects of the Edwardian period or the Rococo period. It's totally different. I don't think they could eat right now, but maybe they could do holy. Let's focus on the mage. Oh God, are you okay? Okay. Wow. Oh, works on the gargoyle. Oh, that's good to know. I'll keep that in mind in the future. Okay, let's try to eat here. Oh, darn. I was hoping to have Iron Chef eat them. Using a little bit too much white magic from Echo. I probably don't need to go that gung-ho on the healing. I just want to make sure that, Iron Ship is not gonna collapse because they're low level. Okay, there it is. But since I love the nostalgia from the 90s and the early 2000s, because that was my formative years, and because I like the, or at least trying to express that, you know, girly, feminine side of me, I realized that deep down inside, I wanted to be like Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. She has that big, huge bow. She has that staff. She's got like the cute floral sundress. But she also got the leather and the boots. And, you know, she doesn't shy from being, you know, a little bit feminine while still be able to like go out and about with the rest of the gang. And I realized that's kind of what I want to be, like aesthetic wise, is kind of be more like her. And in many ways, like this sundress, even though it's not the same color scheme or the same type of length or shape that she had it had the same type of vibes that I like. And maybe someday I'll have like a moto jacket that she was wearing, you know, something that was fitting with her own color scheme. And just enjoy that moment, that whole experience. I also notice on these like blog pages when they talk about like if you are trying to be very classic or romantic or whatever, they talk about drape and making sure that they're soft and they drape and all that stuff. They also talk some really expensive fabrics like silk and satin. And I'm over here looking at these suggestions like, because it's just expensive what they're suggesting that will work for my body. Like, I know I will look good with those type of things, but yikes, I'm gonna break my budget by looking for something that is silky, satiny, velvety. Like, that's great for like special occasions, but you know, for everything else. I'm glad that nowadays we kind of have simple clothing or simple fibers like cotton that you don't have to break the budget in order to enjoy the same type of aesthetic and feel of something that is drapey or flowy. Like, my goodness. Give me a break. I just want to feel good. I don't want to like destroy my wallet down doing so. So, glad to know I could pull something off if I want to. But yikes. I wonder if I could. I can. Oh, works. Okay. I know can eat. Okay, that's good to know. Now we we gotta wear down the gargoyle for them to be. Oh, that's not good. Wait! I should not be using the only ruby that I have in my thing. Oh god. There goes that ruby. There goes that ruby. Damn it, there goes that ruby. That ruby had femurs, I think. Tastes bad. Okay, so now we know. I have to go hunt down a ruby. Wait, there were stone? Well, we got a sapphire, but it was a form of being frozen? Since I said that out loud, I realized yes. Yes, indeed. It was. How could I not think that? Of course. Of course. Alrighty. When she is level 44, well, 45. When she's level 45, I'll go ahead and switch her out with her sibling or something. And just do that. Same thing with Tomato. If Tomato is like 42, I'll switch Tomato out with Xena. So it's really just trying to get Iron Chef up to the same level as everyone else, and that's about it. Welcome back from the ads, everyone. Oh, they're one-time uses. Okay, I have to remember that. Can we eat this? That's probably the fun part about Iron Chef is, can I eat this? They're just slow, and I forgot. And I don't have anything to reverse it. also getting a little bit hungry. Just getting a little bit hungry here. Oh, I was talking about that whole fanfic thing that I saw on BlueSky, and I totally forgot to lead up on it. Oh my goodness. I have other things in my brain. Generally, my opinion on fanfic is that I think it's fun. I think fanfic is a wonderful way to express yourself and to have fun with characters that you really enjoy. And just, live in that world, in that universe. And also it's a wonderful way to like hone in your writing skills. It's another form of self-expression also. Lots of people do like fanfic for all sorts of things, like not just books, but also like movies, TV shows, stuff like that. And most of the time it's because, we feel like they're not expressing the characters the way we thought that they would, like because of this whole stigma around the LGBTQ, especially lately. We will see this, really strong connection, this emotional connection between characters, and we just go, ooh, they really are into each other, That's not normal, behavior between, like, cisgendered people, or, like, heterosexual kind of people. It's like the whole Daphne and Velma kind of vibe, some of the things that they do, it's like, I don't know, bestie, that's not like best friend kind of thing. That's a little bit deeper. So you would have fanfic exploring that, something that you wish that could happen, but you're just not seeing it. So, for the most part, I thought it's a healthy, fun way to, like, express yourself and have fun with fanfic. And usually it's free. It's free because you're not looking to monetize that work, because you're just playing around. And most of the time, the fanfic that's uploaded is like a first draft, second draft kind of thing. From what I gather from AO3 kind of aesthetic, not aesthetic, kind of like experience from what other people had said, it's a little bit more serious about like the kind of material they put up there, I guess, they really do get hung-go about like the characters they put up there. I kind of want to check them out. For the longest time, I used to dive into fanfiction.net when I was younger. That was my thing. That I really loved reading all the time. But usually it's just not a monetized kind of situation. You do it because you enjoy the experience, you enjoy the characters, and you don't really look for payment, usually. When you start getting to that mentality where, hey, I would like to make this like a living off of these, the work that I do, the writing that I have, these characters, this world, there's two things you could do. Either you approach the people and say, hey, I got this really cool storyline, I want to be part of your board, let me sign up for part of your board meetings and get it to the writing table, go ahead and write up these character dramatics and situations, and let me play in your sandbox. Have fun a little bit, if you allow me to. You could approach, that way. So long you have the experience or the education to back up, like, hey, you're willing to put in the work, and you have the showcase that they like your approach to your stories, they might consider it. But most of the time, when you're wanting to monetize your work and your writing, you want to work with characters that you originally created. And just construct them from there. You don't really take someone's intellectual property, claim it as your own, and then run with it. You usually don't do that. You can, however, just like Shades of Grey, do it in a manner where you change the characters that inspired you so much, where the role that they're in, the drama that they're experiencing, their name, their physique had changed so much that it's essentially like your own. You're just inspired by the original content. It has changed dramatically since then. And there's lots of fun you can do when you do something like that. A lot of people do a lot of retells of old Grecian mythologies. Dante's Inferno was also a fanfic of the Bible. There's a lot of things you can do as a fanfic that is inspired by other works, change it up so much where it's essentially yours, and like go out and try to monetize it for your own needs. There's nothing wrong with that aesthetic, but there is a danger where if you just don't change anything at all, the intellectual property is not up for the public, and you don't really change anything per se. You just want to run with it and just monetize or publish your fanfic in a manner where you're binding your own books, you're selling your own books, and you know for sure it's fanfic. That's the problem. That's where everyone goes, oh, hold your horses here. Because you're profiting off of someone's story and characters and their own thing. And it'd be best if you take your own skills, your own way of storytelling, and do it with other characters, like that's originally yours. Or like change it up so much where it is unique, and a unique experience, a unique world, a unique approach to everything. But just hardly changing anything up and doing a true like fanfic kind of thing and then just having it monetized and let it be out there, that's copyright infringement. You're trying to claim these characters are yours. The world that they're in is yours. And that's a huge issue. So, there's a line when it comes to fanfic. It's supposed to be fun and expression and learning the trade and fun. Okay? It's supposed to be about fun. And if you really want to make money off of it, you gotta change things. You have to change things. Or you have to work with material that is public domain. You know, like Lovecraft. I believe Sherlock Holmes is public domain too. You just, or like Grecian mythologies, other like mythologies from other cultures. Do something like that. Henschi, thank you so much for the raid. Well, let me get off of my soapbox and greet all of you. My name is Archer Spark, also known as Sparky, and I'm a dark fantasy writer and author. I had written and published The Doppelganger Queen. It's out right now. It has been out since December. You could click the link in the bio or here. I think I have it down as that, yes. So if you like dark fantasy books, if you like LGBT characters, if you like a little bit of a unreliable narrator or a character that's a little bit edgelordy, kind of roguey kind of character, maybe this is up in your alley. Otherwise, welcome in. I was commenting about like how fan fiction should just be about fun and where the line is when it comes to like monetization. So that was my whole soapbox there. By the way, what you doing? If there's anyone lurking here, let me go ahead and give you a shout out. There we go. What kind of games have you been playing? Oh, and let me give you a little bit of a follow too. But if y'all are lurking and chilling and vibing, please do go ahead and follow Henschi and give them a big thank you for being here. If you do have to raid and run, I totally understand. Please go ahead and take care of yourself. For anyone wanting to stick around, I'm currently doing a little bit of party grinding with the FF9 characters. I'm at that very last stage of the game. It feels like it's all last stage here. Before we go up to the big evil doohickey dude that is probably the father of Felix and Kuja. And we have to break open these seals. And I realized that everyone that I haven't had in my main group is like low in their levels. So let me show you what I'm working with here. So right now, Ava 1 is like a 44. Okay, not Ava 1 is a 44. Let me back up here. Main character is Felix. He's a 48. Stout, which is that knight. The princess, who I called Katana. The dragon knight, I called her Xena. And Vivi, I didn't have the heart to change Vivi's name. Vivi is a all of them are like 44s except for Xena. Xena is a 40, level 40. And as you can see here, Tomato is a 40, Echo is a 41, and Iron Chef is way behind on 33. I just switched out Xena for Iron Chef. So when Iron Chef becomes level 40, that's it. I'm going to move on with the story. It's going to get a little bit messy with dealing with the seals, I have no clue who I'm going to pair up with, and I'm going to make mistakes. And I want to make mistakes with this gameplay because it's my first time experiencing it. So don't be mad at me if that ever happens today, if I like start pairing off with the wrong type of people for the seals. I think the first seal is going to be Echo and Katana, which is the Princess Garnet originally. So we'll see. We'll see about it. So, and thank you all so much for coming in, lurking, and vibing here with me. I have been rambling. I've been rambling about a lot of things. I've been rambling about fashion, and now I have been rambling about fanfic. Generally, if you had missed out, I love fanfiction. Nothing against it. It's just the issue about like when it becomes monetized. Because some people want to, be authors, which is totally okay. Everyone should be an author or at least try to release a book. I think it's a wonderful experience. But at the same time, I think we all need to also understand copyrighted materials such as characters, places, and stuff like that. Unless you're invited to work in that sandbox, in that world dealing with those characters, I think that's probably best to either change up the character so much where it becomes your own, like 50 Shades of Grey. We all know what the original characters were for the 50 Shades of Grey. That's not a surprise. What they were able to do is create their own universe, and the characters that were inspirations of that were completely morphed and changed, and dealing with different type of dramas and issues in their lives. So you can do it with your own work, but it's just gotta be where it's not taking someone's work, claiming it as your own and running with it. Unless you're invited to play in that sandbox, there's only so much you should do. Otherwise, I think it's fun and great to publish it on AO3, fanfiction.net, for free, to have fun and to enjoy the experience. And there are plenty of writers out there who do it for fun and for expression. And there's nothing wrong with being a hobbyist writer whatsoever. I think that's a healthy outlet for a lot of people. So that's kind of like my soapbox that you all had entered on. I completely understand if that's not your jam to hear. Oh, and for those who are wondering, I had Iron Chef sample on his feature. So, hopefully, maybe have Iron Chef eat the veteran. So far, we were able to snag an auto life for Iron Chef. fancy so far. Dude! Yay! Alright. Wow. That took a long time to get there. Gamble defense. Oh, so close. Okay. Oh, and I did figure it out, the the puzzle with the downstairs. Let me go ahead and show you. So in the center stairs, there's this whole thing here. You go around and you enter this room, and there's like a lift, and when you step out you have this whole place. Now it's not just this one perfume here, there's like another, and this was glowing. So I could for the life of me figure it out like for the past 3 or 4 streams of this game. Could not figure it out. And somehow I was able to switch around these bottles where the power went into this one. Don't know how. I may just watch the video to like see like what happened and what I did differently from all the other times. But it just went in there. I was like, okay, I guess that works. So, I ended up with this perfume. There's 2 perfumes I was able to obtain. I obtained the Princess perfume, I think. And then I think I obtained the oh, where is it? I know it's here. Yeah, the Maiden Prayer. I have the Maiden Prayer perfume, which ups the holy attack. Where's the other one? There it is, the Ancient Aroma perfume, which radiates a mysterious light and it raises shadow element attack. And when I looked at the Ancient Aroma perfume, I thought that was good for Felix. But Felix, for some reason, doesn't want to wear it. So far, it's been... What's her name? I forgot her name, Echo. So far, I know that Echo could wear those perfumes. I haven't tried it on anyone else. So, that's what's going on so far with this game. Just a little bit of grinding stuff happening here. Not trying the dragon. Not into it. I tried it before and it was just too upset. It was too upsetting for me to like continue to like force myself through like a very high strung, high attack kind of situation. It was just, I wasn't having any fun. And I like doing these type of games for fun. Ooh, we may have an ad popping up soon in a couple of minutes. Just a heads up, people. course. Oh, it missed. It missed. Of course. Of course it will summon the gargoyle. I think I have something that can deal with this. I'm gonna try it and see how it goes. No! Okay, so I was wrong. I forgot how to take care of ice. And that's an oopsie on me. Okay, my thought process can work out on the gargoyle. It's not like a undead kind of situation. Whoa, okay. Okay. I'll switch out Tomato with Xena. Just so we could kind of keep them on the same type of level space. Welcome back, people, in the ads. Thank you for your patience. And Iron Chef is just now level 34, so this may take longer than I would like. Which is fine. It's okay. Let's get back to the airship. Switch out for Xena. Ooh, and let's rest up for a little bit. Check here. Yeah, she's level 40 or 45. Yeah. Okay. I know I have a bunch of them not using their abilities and such. I'm waiting for a chance to get done with the Ipsen castle and sorry, my mind is thinking about other things. Once the Ipsen castle grind is done, I'll be able to switch out their weapons. Because in this castle, having weapons that are high level was not pleasant of an experience. They do everything backwards, and for the longest time when I was doing the main story quest here in this place, I was trying to figure out why my text didn't work very well and why it was awesome like elsewhere, and I couldn't quite judge it. And lo and behold, it was because, everything was backwards. So it was better off if I tried to do things in a, working with weapons that are like low-end weapons, try to do magic that are not that great, really simple attacks, stuff like that. That's why I have most of them do like melee and stuff like that. I'm trying to also get Iron Chef to level up, so I'm trying to put in a little bit of the blue magic in there, just to give them a little bit more experience to play with. Can I? No, I can't. I don't know why I think that any summons will be there. No, it's really looking. Don't understand why that particular attack will be weak. Okay, who is it? Oh, okay. That'd be fine. Yeah, it's all good. Yay! 35! 5 more levels to go. We're getting there. Nope. There we go. Oh, and if y'all ever like need to step away and you're afraid that you're gonna miss some of this content, I do upload the Final Fantasy IX plays on YouTube. Sometime this weekend, it will be exported and published on my YouTube channel. And it has my author name on there, so it'll be easy for y'all to find. I think I also have it on my link tree, which is in my bio. Oh wait, let me go here. There we go. Took a while. Let me double check my time here. Here we go. Iron Ship is still a little bit soft for this dungeon run. Let's see. So I did those two sides. Let's go back down here. Go this way again. This is the only time I ever had to do character level grinding in this game. I have done like item grinding before. Usually that takes like a couple of hours here and there. I try my best to be consistent about like keeping their items powerful in this game, because it's very dependent on the equipment that you're wearing. But this is the first time ever I have to deal with their levels, because they're going to be off in pairs, and it would be such a ridiculous gap between the main character party and the secondary character party, because they were like below level 30. So just trying to close the gap here with all of this. that never had to do, with character level grind. Most of the time, I never cared for it from other games. Leading up to this, I'm always like, go straight to the story every single time. And this is the first time ever I'm actually at peace with it. Tried Sheep Island. For some reason I cannot land the ship on Sheep Island. Turns out you need a different kind of aircraft for that. Never knew until my brother told me. So I tried the dragon in that grotto. Got my butt handed to me. And it was just not a fun experience. I could not keep everyone alive facing that at all whatsoever. And everyone said it was easy. It totally wasn't. So because I don't want to deal with the frustration of dealing with something like that, I thought it would just be fine grinding in the prior dungeon, because it is the appropriate level for them. And it does go faster. Whoop. Sorry about that. It does go a little bit faster than the overworld level grinding that I was dealing with. So I've been getting like 3,000 some odd experience for these monsters. And it wasn't that bad. So it may take a little bit longer than what y'all are used to, but I just want to work with something that's in my comfort space, where I am enjoying the game. Oh, and I did try creating more coral rings, and I ran out of rods. And I tried going back to Limblum to buy more rods, and I realized the game had progressed so far where I really couldn't get that. I already looted all the chests here in this place. That's probably the only area where you get really low level items. So it's kind of a messy spaghetti kind of situation. I don't have the means to protect myself from that particular dragon in that grotto. But I do love this game. I do love this game, even though there are some parts where the story just kind of sits because I had to do some of the grinding. I love the map painting here. I love the textures they gave here. The monsters and creatures, as always, are very imaginative for the Final Fantasy experience. You know, all these characters, all the monsters, it's very fantastical. And I would not want it any other way. At all. And just having that little glow behind the windows like this, You know, having the textures of the different type of stone, you know, the details on the floors here. It's great. I really like it. There are times where I have a hard time navigating in it, which is pretty typical of the time. You know, it's kind of hard to tell where you want to go or where you can walk on because it's so seamless on the map painting. But it's just gorgeous. I love the textures. I feel like some of that has been lost in today's games, except for some of the big AAA games. They do try their best to make it just as aesthetically pleasing with the textures and the minute details in the environment, like the plants, the shrubs, everything around it. So they do try their best in a 3D environment. But it's just nice to look at and go, ooh, you know, you can see the distance here. You can see, you know, there's some shadow here that you're not able to touch, you know. There's a little bit of fogginess here because some of the light is streaming down. It's going to cover the character a little bit. It's just cool. And I think I haven't seen that type of lighting and shading experience since Horizon Zero, honestly. And probably like Outer Worlds. The light play from that whole 3D environment in Outer Worlds has a gorgeous color palette that is just wild, and I just love it. And Horizon Zero Dawn also had some pretty good moments with the color play too with their lighting. It was just kind of, if you don't see it, you'll miss it type of thing. Or like looking over the horizon, looking at the backdrop of the environment, and you can see the color change and shift depending on which region you're in. It's just really nice. It's those kind of details that really make or break like a 3D experience. That kind of brings back to that type of sense of style and aesthetic from this kind of game. But yeah, just seeing the golden ironwork here, the type of reliefs that you see on the stone, you do see that in 3D games like say Resident Evil 8, where you're dealing with Demontress and that whole environment, that house that you're running through, you do see a little bit of that, but it doesn't feel like it's lived in. And I think that's what's missing. There's no like lived in experience. There's no clutter, there's no like dirt, there's no grit. You know, in some of these places it's a little bit too sterile. And I think people like to look over that because, you know, they're so used to seeing that in 3D environment day in, day out when they're working with it. They had some textures and lightings on it, but sometimes you need to fill in a little bit of paint space and give that little type of shading or experience, that little moss growing in between, that little grime. I just miss the grime. I think that's what I'm missing sometimes. And I think they're finally figuring that out with some of these games. You know, having that little bit of grit that little griminess, that lived-in experience where like, wow, I could be in here. I think they finally are tuning into that. So eventually, you know, they'll catch up to like having this kind of experience, this kind of look. And I think some games do that. It's just, you gotta let the developers cook. You gotta let the artists cook. You can't just put a lot of pressure on these developers to hit the deadline when you're not gonna get this sense of awe from the space. You're not gonna get that when they're running out the door. Oh, no. I meant to hit this. Ooh. Oh, no. We need to heal. We need to heal. There we go. I probably should reframe my words where for the longest time I had seen games where you don't have that level of attention to detail in the backgrounds. It's all very self-shaded, like we're seeing in Genshin Impact. And while that makes it affordable and pleasant to experience for the wide demographic, especially on MMO servers, it's not going to too exhausting computer system. It's kind of nice to experience it, you know, a little bit more detailed with the other games. Oh, remember when everyone was doing ray tracing? Oh. Well. That's cool. Oh man, I forgot that when they go into trance, that's their best attacks. I forgot about that. Ooh, ads are gonna kick in real soon here. I may take this as the opportunity to go ahead and do a restroom kind of break. I'm also feeling a little bit snacky. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and heal up before I go. Yeah, we could continue on like this. It'll be fine. Let me go ahead and heal. I hear the siren out there right now. Let me save just in case something shuts down unexpectedly. But I'm gonna go ahead and get myself more coffee. I'm just feeling it. I just need a little bit more of something. Ooh, level 50. And I'm just gonna take the time to take care of that. So I'll be right back. Get yourself some water, some snackies, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back for more grinding action. Okay, I'm back. Thank you all so much for your patience. So, got some of these crackers here. Oh, rich. I'm gonna bring up some music here. I have about an hour left of this stream. Again, apologies for starting the stream pretty late today. I really wanted to just figure out what I'm gonna wear for a stream, and just for the life of me could not get it together in time. There we go. Alright, just a little bit of music in the background while I devour these little crackers. I assure you, it's not the only thing I'm eating for today. I really do believe in eating like normal meals all the time. It's just dinner's gonna come up pretty soon, and I really don't want to, spoil my stomach for tonight's dinner. It's gonna be chicken soup. But the way my family does chicken soup, it's more like a stew. There's wild rice in there, there's some veggies in there. Um, Once in a while, you get a little bit of potato sometimes. It's not always a guaranteed. Sometimes there will be potato in it. And they always have cornbread with the soup. And I love it. I love it a lot. So I'm trying my best not to spoil my dinner by eating really heavy right now. No! It broke on me! In fact, I really love doing fall soups. Just like something as simple as tomato soup. You could, if you want to, do the normal, in the can puree with water, just heat it up, mix it together. You can do that. It's totally okay. But what I love to do with tomato soup is to have it with milk, kind of make it a little bit creamier. Let's see, what else do I do? Sometimes I add a little bit of a bay leaf in there. Sometimes I add a little bit of oregano. And if I have it in the house, some shredded cheese on top. Just a little bit something, something, you know, with your tomato soup. But I used to do like fish stews, acorn squash stews, or soups, I should say. I don't mind like when they're spicy, I don't mind when they're mild. But usually my family loves something that is very hearty, a lot of rice. If there's no rice in the soup, they usually go for barley. And barley is really great in thickening up soup, along with arrowroot. If you want to get your soup a little bit thick, arrowroot. Just sprinkle some of that in. Depending how big your pot is, it will help congeal it, help bring it all together. You don't really taste it. I know we're all in the middle of summer season here in the US. It's all very hot. But something about rain. When it rains, it's a little bit cloudy, things cool down a little bit, and soup just makes it cozier. It just really makes everything cozier and fun to like stay indoors, have a nice warm blanket, get a good book to read, or like sit and watch some Netflix stuff and just vibe. You know, even though it's summer weather, kind of rainy days kind of makes it a little bit better. You know, I may just play this music in the background just a little bit. Maybe that's what I'll do. So let me go ahead and switch things here. If y'all really don't like hearing it, please do let me know. In fact, let me make sure it doesn't clash here. Okay, there we go. I'll turn the music off. Wait, did I miss it? Okay, I think that's what it is. Here we go. There we go. So, yeah, let me know if this works out for all of you. I will switch the music back on whenever I do get into the story experience. Since this is going to be the last hour of stream and it's just a major grind fest, might as well have something pleasant in the background. I think just the environmental music here can be a little bit tiring because it's just the same old thing, you know? I don't know what it is with this place, but for some reason the controls for that angle are just completely off. Wait, let me check the levels here. Okay, Iron Chef is still 36. But Xena is 42. When Xena and Echo finally achieve the next level, I'll go ahead and switch them out. There we go. Oh my goodness, it took forever to get a monster. Now this weekend, I'm planning to do a little bit of gardening. Just trying to neaten things up around my garden space. I don't have an extensive garden, just letting y'all know. Just a small strawberry patch I want to tend to. There's an old bush I'm gonna have to like get rid of. It had passed away, you know. I won't like remove the bush that's alive. Ooh. Nope. Close. Real close. I was, for the longest time, growing like vegetables and fruits and all that type of stuff, but this past year or so, it's just not a good time for me to like focus on the garden. I've been so busy with a lot of things. I'm not that busy where I can't see straight. It's not like that. But I've been busy enough where I'm just not able to like be as attentive as I wanted to be with my plants. I have 2 poinsettias that are saved from the winter season. They were, they were growing very well past the January kind of date. And I thought, why not just keep them around and take care of them? One of them had really terrible soil that just never received sunlight. And it decided to get a little bit moldy. And I took care of the mold. I dried it out. But in drying it out, I accidentally made the poinsettia wilt a little bit, which is not a good sign. So I've been so busy these past. No, it's been a past month now. I've been so busy for the past month, where I never took the time to transfer it over to a new potting kind of situation. And I'm going to do that tomorrow. And try to see if hopefully the shock of transferring over won't be that bad. And 2, it will be able to adapt back when it's in soil that's not going to, get moldy and nasty. And it will drain well, and hopefully it will get a lot more sun. I think what went wrong with the poinsettia plant is that the container was too high where the sun couldn't hit the soil. For some reason, I don't know why I did this. I didn't plant it where the surface is at the very edge of the pot. It was very set in within it. And because of that, I don't know. I could try to keep the same container and just see if it's gonna work out, but I think I'm gonna try for something a little bit smaller, just so I won't have to worry about such a huge container and trying to fill it with all the soil. I may have to go shopping for a proper container for it, if I'm gonna be real. No, Iron Chef, no! Oh, okay, they're fine. Ooh. This may be a little bit rough for Iron Chef here. I may have to just go ahead and buy more soil too, now I think about it. The soil that we have in the house is just really low. And I think it would be beneficial to just go and buy some new ones. Okay. Level 37, we're getting there. 3 more levels. We have 3 more levels to go. And Echo is 44. Awesome. That I may I'm really half tempted to switch Echo out. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that yet. I changed my mind. I just walk normal without running anywhere, maybe that will attract more monsters. If I just really take my time to do that. Okay, I think that's working. Also, Doom is a little bit fascinating that the reason why the clock down or the wait, oh my god, I didn't think of this before. So you know how in Doom you have the person in the mirror and they look at you and the eyes go red and then the mirror shatters. From what I understood in this game, there's this scientist, I think. I could be wrong if they're a scientist or not. But, like, they control this experiment, this planet that they're on. And Felix and Kuja are minions of the scientist. And they are in this world for whatever reason it is. Felix, I forgot what it is, and Kuja is not telling us what it's about. I'm not there in the story yet. I wonder if the person in the mirror is that dude. That kind of weird deity, if you will. And that upon seeing them, and they deem the character, whoever the doom is set upon, as unworthy of living. And then they just hit the button when they see that person in the mirror. Because this overlord that Kuja serves and is trying to, like, combat and kill whatever, I think they have that ability to, like, pick off and choose who they want to, like, take out. So my tinfoil hat theory is that the person in the mirror is that ultimate big bad evil boss in the game. Now, I know the character pixelization in that mirror does not look like that dude. But it kind of makes sense, because who is the person in the mirror? Why did they deem the character is doomed to die from that spell? Who would have that kind of power? It just kind of makes sense in this world building that they have constructed here. Oh wait, I'm supposed to walk. I keep forgetting I'm supposed to walk. There we go. I'm supposed to attract monsters by walking around. Oh, ads will start in a couple of minutes. Just a heads up, everyone. Ooh, okay, yeah, that's bad. We may have to do a little bit of healing here. Oh, no, close. Real close. Got a lot of gil from this whole experience. Ooh, and she's also low. Well, let's just head back. Let's go ahead, head back. Rest in a tent. Do another round. We have 3 more levels with Iron Chef. I honestly believe I'm making a lot more progress than I would have in any other method that I was trying last week. Hopefully I won't have to worry about like grinding for anything. All the gil I have accumulated should set me very well. I'll go ahead and show you how much I have. So down in the bottom right I have 179,879 gil. So hopefully, whatever store that I go to next in this story arc, I don't have to grind for a gil. I will have to say though that going through this routine here with Ipsen Castle, it is kind of creating a bad routine because I'm now doing a lot of special stuff with the group. I keep forgetting I need to walk. I forgot what I was saying. I've been talking so much today. I appreciate y'all just chilling and vibing here. Even though you're not chatting, it's nice to know that in some way or form, I'm pretty entertaining for all of you to just yip yap on stream and just have this wonderful experience with all of you. Even if it's just like grinding characters and all that. So thank you for being here. For those who don't know, since some of you are new, coming from the raid, which by the way, thank you Henshi, so much for the raid. I have played Final Fantasy games in the past. I was there when the first one came out, I think. I can't quite remember it, but I definitely remember the Cecil the Knight experience. That one, I remember for sure. Oh, darn. No! Dang it. They were supposed to level up, that's the whole point. No. But I do remember Cecil the Knight. I do remember that whole story arc. Well, kind of. I was like a child back then. But back in the 90s, you could set your house phone, your landline, to whatever ringtone that you want to do. You just gotta hit record. So my mother asked my older brother to play the opening sequence of that Final Fantasy game. And she had that recorded as the ringtone, and it was so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. But it eventually got time to where she needed to have it where it's a little bit more formal. And she can't really get away with something like that, which, it kind of sucks because it's so beautiful. But, eventually we had to, move on from something like that. But it was just so nice to, always have, Final Fantasy games, throughout the whole, gaming experience with the family. I haven't tried playing that particular game when it came out over here in the US, but I did play a little bit of the Terra, which is now what we call Final Fantasy VI. And after that was Final Fantasy VII, and that was my game. That was my Final Fantasy universe. Even though I love Terra and, all the different characters dealing with the revolution and fighting against impossible odds, it didn't really click for me until Final Fantasy VII, where you have this nature versus industry kind of dialogue that was going on. It also kind of lent itself into the future films that I was watching. Not future films, but the past films that I grew up on, from Jeff Bloom. I think it was the Jeff Bloom films where you have Fern Gully, you have Secret of Nim, those type of movies where they make you very environmentally conscious about everything. And of course, Captain Planet was also one of my favorite TV shows when I was growing up too. I was very environmentally conscious as a kid, which is not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong about being concerned about your environment, because there's only one planet Earth, and all the other planets that are viable are just too far away right now. It would take a lot of time and effort to try to terraform it to suit our needs. And it may be better off that we try to take care of our needs here in this planet. And not just try to, abandon this planet and try to seek out another to exploit it. I don't know, it may be a little bit too deep for some people, but that's just kind of how I feel. So that's why I really clicked with Final Fantasy VII so much. Because of how pricey the consoles were way back when, eventually my parents were like, look, we just can't keep up, it's just too expensive, we're just not going to do consoles anymore, and we all just dive into computer games. And that's kind of where I got into Baldur's Gate, Pools of Radiance, anything that was PC, that was RPG, I'll probably play that as well. Try my hand on ElfQuest, just a little bit. Um, just did a lot of exploration. Didn't care about like level grinding or anything. Um, just really wanted to explore the world and see what's there. And just kind of squeeze myself over there, you know, not really. I kind of chased the system a little bit where I just kind of sneaked out from the borders, even though I was like super low level, and just explore around a bit with whatever places I could go to. And it wasn't bad back then. The polygon experience was like atrocious compared to like the texturization that you have here. But the whole environment that they were running on that server was nothing to really sniff at. Except of course, you know, World of Warcraft, that whole place kind of like took that and made it bigger, better. I never got into it. I really had considered it a lot back then when I was a kid. Oh, awesome. That gave so much experience. Let's see, where was I going? I think I'll head to the ship and switch out some characters. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll switch some characters out. I don't think I was able to play any other Final Fantasy game until 10. So that's why I'm playing 9 right now. And I have played 8. Oh geez. A couple of years ago. And this keeps falling down. I'm so sorry. So yeah, missed out 8, missed out 9 when I was growing up. Everyone said this is one of their favorite games. Also heard that 8 was a really good, you know, addition to the whole Final Fantasy franchise. Never experienced Final Fantasy 11 because that was like a multi-world MMO experience. They were experimenting with that one. Did a little bit of Final Fantasy 12 when it hit the PlayStation. And I did not like the level system of 12 way back when. So when it finally came out on Steam with the Zodiac Age, I was really intrigued. And it's a good thing that I did because the level up system was so much better than what I had experienced when I was a kid. Okay, everyone was 44, but we do need a healer. And I could see if she could wear those perfumes. That would be important. So let me check the time here. Okay, I have a little bit of more time to go. Let's also equip her with 4 rod. Yeah, that's like a really good rod. So let's use this one. That's the worst. Okay, she has garnet. We're good. But I think I should try out a different one. Whoop. There we go. Alright. It really works for her. It gives her the strength and the evasion. And she could do Odin. I know we're working on Bahamut, but we could get Odin. Let's look at the other one. Auto regen, but she was also able to get more benefits, that's more magic associated. We did max out that ability with auto regen, so I'm not too precious about adding this for her. I want to finish out Garnet so we could learn Bahamut, because she's the only one that could really summon these things. And then we'll go for Odin. I think that's the strategy here, if I remember it. Okay, so we have 2 more levels for Iron Chef. And I think this is going to be a party lineup until they get there. So, that's going to be our plan. You know, because I started stream a little bit late, I probably could come back here if you're all willing to be patient during the dinner break. Oh gosh, no, no, no. Okay, there we go. The controls are a little bit wonky, I have to say. Alright, let's go ahead and save with the characters that we have. She just looks so happy. For a while she was moping, really distraught, and I totally get it because, you know, her adoptive mom, you know, had passed away, even though she was evil. I understand that it's her mom. It's probably very complicated of a relationship. I'm just really shocked that she didn't feel hatred or like anger towards her mother. Well, okay, she was a little bit angry, but not to the point where she was going to burn all bridges. She was still willing to try to work things out with them. Do I have to use the ability to, like, learn it? I normally don't keep track about, like, memorizing certain abilities or trying to obtain them. Except for summons. I'm trying to do better. This poor creature. I'm just wanting to make sure that we are able to learn Bahamut, okay? Okay, we could do better. No! I forgot! Her attacks heal! She has to defend. Ah! Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to heal a lot. I realized that Echo is like an awesome healer. Catan is like the only summoner that we have in the group. and no one else is able to heal. Which I know I could just go through all my potions. I have plenty of money to like do something like that. Oop, I gotta walk. I gotta attract more monsters. I keep forgetting to do that. Oh, I also never played 13. Final Fantasy 13. I heard from my friends that it was rather linear and it wasn't worth everyone's time. Except for the story. The story was nice. So I'm half tempted, just for the characters in the story, to try it out sometime in the future. Someday I may acquire it. There's also 15 and 16, and currently that's on the family consoles. I don't think I have the... Oh, did I have her? Yeah, I did. I'm so used to Echo. I forgot Katana could heal when she hit someone. Ah. Okay, just heal. Just heal. That's all you do. You just heal. There we go. Let's see. I did play a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV online. I did do that a long time ago. I was able to get through the main storyline, or at least the first arc, and I felt completed. I didn't feel the urge to continue on with the story. I tried it again a little bit later, and I just had that same feeling. So I am personally done with Final Fantasy XIV. I don't see myself going back anytime soon. So just letting you all know. I know that that could be heartbreaking for some people, because I know that it's a wonderful community. A lot of people had so much fun over there. I'm a very story-driven kind of person, and I just feel like it's finished when I finally went through the first main arc. I also didn't really care for the grinding in the game. I really don't. And it's not because I had issues trying to get other people to help me grind or anything. It's just my personality. I don't like wasting time with grinding. Except for this game. This game is probably the only exception where I really don't mind it that much. And that's because they set up their game very, very, very well. It's just for some reason I had some favorites, and because I had those favorites, they tend to level up beyond everyone else. So I should try to be a little bit better in picking and choosing characters, and trying to keep choosing the characters with a lower level, and that's on me. So for the most part, this game has been really good with a grinding experience. Except here, this is probably the longest I have ever experienced grinding. And I'm very, very tempted to come back later on tonight to like finish this out. Simply because this is the second time I have been late going to stream. Alright. Let's go ahead and just heal real quick. I'm not going to worry about summons. I'm sure that just wearing it, it will level up. Okay. Well, okay, you chose for me. Let's heal Felix. I also love the new haircut for Katana. She just looks great. I really don't mind the really long hair that she had. It was very typical of the female protagonists. They always had the long hair, and it does play up the Japanese aesthetic. Oh my god, we were so close! I need like 184 for Iron Chef to be level 39. We're so close, April 1. Oh man. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just stick out with this game here for the rest of the night. I may have a really long restroom break. Or not restroom break, dinner break. To eat dinner, enjoy myself, and then come back and stream a little bit more just so I can finalize the level. And probably chit chat with all of you. Probably not play anything that's going to have ads in the background. Let's just do that. Since she's not able to heal as much as Echo, I think what I'll do is just have Echo instead of Katana, or at least have both of them. No! No! I did it again. I wasn't thinking. Okay. That didn't hurt. Oh, okay. So finally Iron Chef is 39. Katana would be level 45. I have to think for a moment what I want to do. Actually, I may just stream a little longer and not go to dinner yet. I don't think it requires a huge weight session and then just a little bit of grinding. I think we're just so close. I'm going to delay going to dinner and just continue grinding until we get that level 40. Or I may have some soup here while I try to grind this out. Oh, ads may kick in real soon, just a heads up. In fact, I may just go take a small break pretty soon just to get some dinner. Okay, this strategy is working where Katana just heals someone every round. Yes! Okay, awesome. Let's switch that out for Katana. Ooh, I could have learned the Leviathan. And Sapphire and Shiva, so there's some people I totally missed out. But let's go ahead and get Odin. Odin is probably very important to have. There we go. We're getting a lot of monsters here. Maybe I should just circle around here until we hit level 40. No, y'all, I'm hungry. So after this monster, I'll go ahead and get my dinner. Ooh, that's critical. And I'll come back here and do a little bit more grinding. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. Okay. I think this is a good spot to like get some monsters. Let me go ahead and set everything up where y'all could just chill and hang out here. I'll go ahead and get my soup and I'll be right back. Okay. I'm here. I have the soup. Here it is. It's steaming. Oh, you can see the steam. So I'm gonna take some time to like eat a little bit, chit chat, and then we'll just finish out the game session. I also got the Ray-Ban ear stuff just so I could listen to the music while I'll go ahead and eat along with you. I'm just so close. I'm so close with finishing this thing. I just really, really need to finish it. So just bear with me just a little bit. And then next week for sure, I'll be able to okay. I will be able to like get into the main story. I'm still of the mindset that with the characters, it's going to be paired off with healer, healer, mage, mage, fighter, fighter, and DPSer, DPSer. So the hack for the cornbread, they decide to like put the cornbread in the muffin tin. It's just so much easier to like give everyone their own little portions of cornbread. And that way, you know, there won't be this remainder that's like no one's gonna be able to touch because it's the remainder. So I hope you all don't mind if I like eat while I go ahead and finish this out. I just really, really want to finish this. And I think, honestly, this is the best place to do it. To just walk around, get some monsters here. This is the place. Before we complete one lap, we have a monster. I still don't know how to deal with that frozen situation. Except for a little baby, you know, fire spell. Hey! Awesome. No! Please don't be paralyzed. Oh. Okay, let's see. Let's see. And I brought my whole dinner just in case. Just in case I have to eat through this. But we finally made it. We finally made it. Okay. I didn't realize I was that close. Let's go ahead and get out of here. I'll go ahead and save and like heal and we'll go back to the airship. Oh man. Yeah, let's go to the Moogle. No, you know what? No. Let's get out of here. Go outside, go to the airship. I love that the music is swelling at this moment. also need to switch their items. Where it is the best of the best. Yeah, here we go. There we go. And I have to remember to do the same for Xena. Hopefully I could do that. Hopefully I could remember it. But I gotta do the same for her. We need to rest and save. And I'll switch out characters next week. Man. I didn't realize I was that close. I know it was close, but I didn't know that was it. I was ready to like lock in with dinner here. Very happy that it turned out that way. Let me go to the title screen, and hopefully it will hit the right spot when I upload it next. So, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you chilling and vibing here. I know it's a major lurk session for today. Also, thank you so much for the raid earlier, Hens. I really appreciate it. And as soon as I can, sometime tonight, I will go ahead and upload this on YouTube. And hopefully y'all don't mind the fashion talk if y'all decided to like watch the VOD. But really, thank you all so much for being here. This coming Monday and Wednesday, it's going to be more work with me sessions. I am finalizing things in my draft before I send it out. And I just need that time to like work on it. So if you want to join me for whatever work session or crafting project y'all want to do, I also appreciate it as well. But until next time, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend and take care. Bye-bye.